Hey guys, what's up? ScottishDuck here once again, right? And this is going to be my review slash thoughts on Project Zero 2 Wii Edition. Okay, now, where to fucking begin, right? A lot of people won't actually know this because I don't talk about it quite as much as some other game series. But Project Zero 2, by the way, before we'll get this out of the way, it's called Fatal Frame in America. Just so you know, that's what I'm talking about. Project Zero has been like, it is one of my favourite game series ever, really, you know. I'm a big fan of like horror games, and Project Zero is definitely one of the scariest out there that you can get, and which is quite impressive considering it doesn't include any sort of like monsters, zombies, or whatever. It's pure like ghost oriented, and you fight the ghosts with a camera and stuff, and it's worked really well for the past throughout the series, There were 3 games on the PS2, Project Zero 1, 2, and 3, obviously. Project Zero 1 and 2 did receive Xbox upgrades. They were ported over to that console with extra features and whatnot. The 4th game was on the Wii, and it never made its way over here. There's also a Spirit Camera spin-off, which is on the 3DS, and it's utter pish. Well, I've not played it myself, but I've read the reviews. And rather than bring over Project Zero 4, Nintendo decided to just remake the second one and give us it instead. I already did a little Wii review, well, a Wii rant video on this, so I'll not get into that. But in any case, let's talk about this, shall we? Now, okay. Is this the definitive version of Project Zero 2? Answer, no. But it is, like, worth owning if you're a Project Zero fan like myself. It's actually not it's not a port, by the way, it's actually a remake. Well, it's kind of a bit of both, if you believe it or not. Obviously it was a PS2 game, and it got, all the graphics are basically the same. They are upgraded in some regards, like, the girls that you play as, Mayu and Miyu, they look different, they're made to look older and whatnot, and they do actually look quite different. At first I didn't notice it, but then I went and looked back at some footage, and I'm like, oh, they do look a lot different. And yeah, some things are more detailed, and there's some other cool little effects in there. So overall, a better looking game. And the biggest change visually, actually, is that it's no longer a sort of it's no longer a sort of like camera angle based experience. It's probably a terrible way to pronounce it, but you can know in the original Resident Evils and Silent Hills, right? The camera would switch all about the place, or sometimes it would follow you. Well, that's how the original Project Zero games played. For Project Zero 4, they decided to skip that and do an over-the-shoulder, sort of style, like in Resident Evil 4. And they've ported that over to here. And as a fan, it is actually really interesting to see this game in that new perspective. It was, from behind me all the time, and have, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Like, there have been some other additions to the gameplay. Incidentally, in case you had noticed, this is more of like a comparing it to the original game rather than a proper review, because the original game was awesome. I'm just saying that. But yeah, some other features that they've added is ghost hands. Now, this was apparently in Project Zero 4, and let me tell you, it's a genius concept. Okay, it involves having to, when you find an item on the floor wherever, right? You actually have to hold the A button down in order to get it, right? And in that time, Mio will very slowly reach out her hand to grab it, and in that time you could, a ghost hand could come out and grab you. Now, this is random, but every time it happens, you're kind of like, oh god, please don't happen, please don't happen. Ah, it happens. It's brilliant, it really is. Granted, I kind of cheated a wee bit because I don't know if my Wii is slowly dying or whatever, but it makes this clicking noise whenever it loads something, so it would always click just before the ghost hand came up, so I knew to pull away, Yeah, it's cheating, but I still thought the idea was brilliant. The actual camera controls, and by camera control I mean, when you're using the camera in the game, they are actually pretty much the same. What the additions are is that you've got a lock-on mode with the Z button, where you basically stay facing the ghost, but you still have to aim the reticle slightly to get it in the middle, because the closer it is to the center, the more damage it does. That's how Project Zero's always worked. and you actually change the direction slightly by tilting the Wii remote or twisting it. You know, at first I really didn't like this. You know, I was just like, oh, I prefer to play dual analog sticks, but they grew on me. I'll give it that. One thing that did bug me though, about the motion controls is that okay, a lot of you will know what the ghost list is, right? The ghost list is obviously, you know, like every ghost you can photograph in the game, and one of the reasons to replay for a Project Zero game is to try and photograph every ghost. Now there are these ghosts that pop up in spaces that normally have to do with a story, and they'll only show up for like a few seconds. You know, if you don't get it, you're tough. You're gonna have to reload your save, or you can get it in the New Game Plus. Well, in the originals, when these would pop up, you could press your camera button, and your main character will actually instantly like zoom in right on them, and then all you had to do was hit the button to take the picture, and that was it. Well, that's still present here, but the thing is, say like say there's a ghost high up, okay, and you press the B button, okay, Mio will instantly look up, you know, to take a photograph of the ghost. But if you happen to have your Wii remote held down at the time, then she'll instantly go like, this is what'll happen, and you're like you're left staring at the ground because you're holding the Wii remote down and you're trying to get it back up to quickly take a photograph, and it might or might not be away at that point. And that was the only annoying thing I found. But mind you, it's not really a game breaker, I suppose. So yeah, the Wii edition also came with a new ending. I've only seen one of the new endings because I just had a quick look there on YouTube, but apparently there's more than one, which is cool. Yeah, it's a pretty effed up ending actually, if I do say so myself. The ending I got was actually one that was only on the Xbox version. It was a real happy ending. I don't know why they've kind of chosen to make that default, but whatever. It brings a nice little close to the game and all that, and yeah. What else was I want to talk about? I already mentioned New Game Plus. You can go onto that. Right, may as well talk about this now, okay? The Project Zero games have always had a good bit of like content, you know, like different game modes separate from the main game. You know, that really ups the New Game Plus and, you know, just some extra fun. Project Zero 2 had a mission mode where you had to do a set amount of objectives in order to complete a mission, and then you would get graded at the end. And the Xbox version added a survival mode where you had to survive in the village for as long as possible. I never played with these too much because I'm not usually into sort of the extra stuff, admittingly, but it was nice that it was there. Well, those two modes, mission mode and survival mode, aren't in this version, which is really disappointing. What we got instead was a haunted house mode. At first I thought, maybe that's just the survival mode. No, it's a fucking minigame collection in a Project Zero game. Okay, haunted house mode consists of you holding the Wii remote and nunchuck perfectly still and holding down one button to move forward. You're not allowed to shake the nunchuck or the Wii remote, because if you do, that's the game's way of thinking, oh, he's getting scared, we better deduct points. That's literally how it's based, by the way. You're supposed to just sit there, and when you get a jump scare or whatever, like Dead Space, you know, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm losing points now. But literally, when I was playing it, I was just like, oh, there's a ghost. Oh, there's another ghost. Jesus, that was loud. You know, it's like, and eventually I started laughing at it because it looked so terrible. Now, they spice things up a little bit here, like there's a mode where you, Doug. There's a mode where you have to look for dolls, there's a mode where you have to take certain pictures of ghosts, and yeah, but it's just really not engaging in the slightest. It's a useless addition, if I do say so. You can use a two-player, mind you, which is fine, I suppose, but still, I was just laughing at how bad it is. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Right, so yeah, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is not like the definitive version of Project Zero 2, but if you're a fan, pick it up, because this new stuff, you know, the fact that it is a remake, is really refreshing. You know, it came out nearly 10 years ago, and it is still scary. By the way, the main game, not haunted house mode. Haunted house mode's pish, but the main game is still really scary. Blech. Right, how much time do I have left? Not much. Right, I'm gonna end on this actually. Some of you might know that Nintendo recently bought the rights to the Fatal Frame / Project Zero series. Now, and that's why this game came out in the first place. Well, actually, I think they bought them not long ago. You know, Spirit Camera and the Project Zero game were already in development when they bought them. So that can mean one of two things to me, right? Either they're hoping to make a sequel to Spirit Camera and push the whole augmented reality thing, which I really hope they don't do, or they're going to make a new game, you know, Project Zero 5. But here's the thing, I can't stop thinking about how great this would be. Project Zero 5 on Wii U, you know, with the Wii U gamepad. Just imagine it. The Wii U gamepad is like your controller, and maybe you're playing on the screen and you can't see the ghost, and what you've got to do is you've got to hold up the controller to the TV and then you can see the ghost, and this is like your viewfinder for your camera, and that's how you combat ghosts. It would be amazing. That would work so well, don't you think? I mean, Nintendo wasn't thinking about that. There's the idea. Okay, roll with it. And while you're at it, bring over Project Zero 4. I want that as well. So yeah, that's that anyway, guys. So yeah, bye. America doesn't actually have this game yet. I don't know if you guys are gonna get it at all at this point, which really sucks. But I hope you do. Along with Pandora's Tower, by the way. But yeah, that's all I got to say, I think. So yeah, see you after. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.